Hi, thanks for joining me today. We've got just a nice little basic practice in store for you. Remember, you can modify things, make them more challenging or less challenging if that's where you need to be. Remember to breathe, never work in pain. Enjoy. Coming to a comfortable seat here. Finding inner thigh rotation, lifting the pelvic floor, pulling the lower belly in and up, and engaging along the sides of the body to sit tall. Relaxing into your hips and shoulders, turning the awareness inward. Begin to focus on your breath and gradually bring that breath to a just beyond comfortable place. Staying connected to the breath, let's begin to add movement here, extending the arms out with the inhale, stretching them up, exhaling to bring them back down again. Let's do it again. And once more like that. Once more here, inhale the arms and exhale just the right hand back to the mat, giving yourself a little tip over to that right side, keeping the pelvis grounded, the spine tall. And with the inhale, coming back up to center, switching sides, taking the left hand down and tipping left. Nice full breath, drawing the shoulder back. And then inhaling back to center, once more on each side like this, exhaling right. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling left. With the inhale, coming back up to the middle. And then exhale, take both hands back to the mat. From here, bringing the right hand over to the left knee, left hand just back behind the body. Give yourself a gentle little twist to the left. Sitting tall, staying rooted and even on the pelvis. Relax through your hips and shoulders. Releasing back to center, taking it to the second side. Nice, gentle, easy twist here. Release and come back to center. Taking it to the first side again, using the arms. Press into your left arm like a second spine and gently pull against the knee with the right hand, rotating the belly button toward the left. Your side ribs toward the back of your mat, drawing the shoulder back and even looking over the shoulder as far as you can see. Deepening the twist, making it a little bit more even up the spine. Full breaths. Coming back through the center and doing the exact same thing on the second side. Engage the arms and rotate around. Releasing, let's come back to center. And from here, make our way around onto hands and knees. Take a moment to make sure the wrists are placed underneath the shoulders and the knees are up underneath the hips. Nice and even on the four corners of the hands. And then begin to move into cat-cow, inhaling the belly toward the floor and exhaling as you round the spine toward the ceiling. Following your breath in and out of those two poses. And gradually work a little deeper and more even through the spine as you go. Let's take one more flow like that in and out. And find a neutral spine. From there, bringing the hands about a handprint ahead, allow the body to shift forward into kneeling plank. You can always be in a kneeling plank. You can always come to a full plank. Keeping the belly pulled in so the pelvis is neutral with the spine. Come into full plank here if you haven't already. Holding, breathing. And then lifting the hips, make your way to down dog. And as always, allow yourself to move and stretch into your down dog, staying even on the hands and long through the spine. From our down dog here, let's shift forward back into our plank, holding, belly engaged, shoulders even on the back. Let's drop down to the knees and then bend into the elbows just enough to bring them in line with the ribs, hovering here, hugging in and then coming down. Making sure the hands are next to the side ribs. With the inhale, roll the shoulders up by your ears, together on your back, down towards your hip bones, holding. Maybe add a little pull with the hands and pressing into the hands, coming up a bit higher if that's you, keeping the elbows in and the shoulders down and back. Releasing it, come back to the belly. Lifting the pelvis at the same time as the chest, make your way up and back into your down dog. Let's shift forward, come back to plank. Knees if you'd like knees, take it all the way down this time. Sliding the hands next to the side ribs, rolling, pulling, and pressing into your cobra. And then releasing, making your way back up, down dog. From here, we'll lift the right leg, keeping the hips square, belly pulled in. And then allow that hip to open without changing your shoulders. Bend into the knee, pointing the knee toward the sky. Even on the hands, keeping the chest pressing back and the left heel sinking. Let's release, taking the legs straight, hips square, toes back to the mat. And then switching sides, take the left leg and lift, working to keep the shoulders level as you let the hip open, toes high, bending at the knee here. Full breaths. And release. Walking the feet up to meet the hands, come to standing fold. Bringing the hands up to the thighs, press away and come parallel to the floor with the upper body. Hips over ankles, shoulders back, belly pulled in. Bending into the knees, bring yourself into a supported chair. Check the alignment with your knees and your toes, making sure the lower back stays long. Leaning with the hands on the thighs as much as you need, otherwise bringing the hands to center or even extending the arms. Strong and even into the feet. Take an inhale, reach up, Exhaling, releasing the arms. Let's take a big step back with the left foot, rotating the toes to point forward. Hands are going to come to the hips. And with an exhale, gently make your way over into a half fold. Shoulders back, even on your feet. Keeping the hands on the hips, allow yourself to move into a deeper fold if you have a deeper fold. Shoulders stay back, spine's nice and long here. Letting gravity just act on that spine. Let's release the hands to the mat. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. The hands can always be on the shins. Taking the index and middle fingers to wrap around the big toes. Bending the elbows out to the sides. And maybe pulling on the toes, drawing yourself in a little deeper. The knees can be bent here if they need to be bent. Releasing the toes, take the fingers to interlace behind the lower back. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other and stretch the hands away from the shoulders. Be sure to keep a slight bend in the elbows so they don't hyperextend. And just continuously pull those shoulder blades together, stretching the hands further away. And then gently release, bringing the hands back to the mat. Allow the toes to turn out toward the corners of your mat. Following your breath here, exhale, bend into the right knee. Inhale back to center, and exhale, bend into the left. So you're just going to slide side to side. Watch that the knee does not come in front of the toes. If you need to open your feet wider, maybe bring your toes to point more in or out. Just watch that the knee is tracking in line with the toes. You can flex the foot of the straight leg up toward the sky if you'd like. Once more on each side like that. Making your way back to center and pointing the toes forward again. Let's bring the hands back to the hips. With the inhale, coming halfway up. Hold in the middle, squeeze the hamstrings, pull the shoulders back, belly's working. You can always support on the thighs if you need. And then inhaling as you come all the way up. Let's turn the left toes in a bit, right toes toward the top of the mat, bending into the right knee. Check for the big toe beyond the knee, and then extend the arms out for warrior two. Relaxing the shoulders, extending out through the crown of the head. Taking the right leg straight, stretch forward over the toes as far as you can reach, and then let that right hand fall, lifting the left arm toward the sky. Head, hands, shoulders, hips, and ankles all in a nice long line. Bending back into the knee, that right hand can rest on the thigh, maybe hang down the inside or outside of the knee. Stretching the left arm up and over the ear. Continue to descend into the hips. Releasing, make your way into lunge. Back knee can be on the mat if you'd like. Let's take the right leg straight and fold over the leg. Find a stretch. Keeping the hips square, spine long here. Bending back into the knee. Stepping forward, fold. Switching sides, step the right foot back and drop the heel. Lifting the upper body. Check in that your feet are where you mean for them to be. Left toes pointing forward, right in. looking for the big toe beyond the left knee and extending the arms. Full, easy breaths here, strong and even into the feet. Moving into triangle, take the left leg straight, stretch forward, and hinge over. Full breaths. Bending back into the knee, positioning that left arm where you need it. Support on the thigh if you need, inside or outside. Right arm comes up and over the ear. That right hand can also be at the hip if it's too intense for the shoulder. Releasing, making your way back into your lunge. Right knee option. Taking the left leg straight, folding over the leg. Bending back into the knee, making your way back into a down dog. Let's shift forward, come back to a plank. Knees, if you like, knees down to the belly. Rolling up into a cobra. And then releasing and making your way back to your down dog. You can simply walk your feet to the top of your mat or come up on your toes and bend into your knees, looking up between your hands and hopping the feet to the hands. Back into the forward fold. We'll slide the hands up to the thighs, coming halfway up. Support on the thighs as much as you need. Sitting back into our chair here. Arms where you need the arms to be. Inhaling as we reach for the sky, releasing the arms on the exhale. Taking it to a balanced position, taking all the weight into the right leg, lift the left knee, and open at the knee. You have the option of bringing that left foot to the inside of the leg for a traditional tree, or bringing the foot to the outside just above the right knee, flexing the foot. Bringing the palms to center, and maybe sitting back into this chair variation. You can stay more upright or allow the chest to come forward, elbow to knee, elbow to ankle. Full breaths. Feeling the wobble on the right foot. Everybody wobbles. Gently coming more vertical, releasing the hand and the foot. And then making our way to the second side. So all the way to the left. Allow the right leg to lift and open. Same idea, decide whether the foot comes to the inside of the leg, anywhere but on the knee, or in front of the knee, above. So the foot's just hanging off. Hands come center. Bending into the left knee so we're in our chair. And staying upright or coming forward on this side. You decide how intense to make it. Nice full breaths. Inhaling as you come back up. Release the hands and the feet. With an inhale, let's stretch the arms up again. Exhale, take yourself into a fold. From the fold, stepping back to our down dog. Bringing the knees back to the mat and sitting back into child's pose. Walking the hands into the thighs and sitting up on the heels. Let's bring the legs around front. Extending the legs long and taking our inner thigh rotation again here. Upright on the pelvis, sitting tall. Inhaling as you stretch the arms up, and then gently exhale, folding over, allowing the hands to fall where they do, even if it's not your toes. Shoulders back, spine is long. Inhaling as we reach back up. Let's exhale, take the hands back to the mat. Bringing the feet flat to the floor, taking the hands about a handprint behind the glutes, fingers pointing forward, even on the four corners of the hands. Drawing the shoulder blades toward each other, tucking the tailbone toward the knees, pull the heels toward the hips to lift the hips up off the floor. Work to keep the spine neutral all the way up through your neck. Doesn't matter how high you lift the hips, just up off the floor. Full breaths. And then release, taking it back to the mat. From here, turning the fingers to point behind. Keeping the hands about shoulder width apart back there, start to walk them as far back as they'll go. Feeling the stretch across the tops and fronts of the shoulders here. The legs can be bent or extended, your option. Full breaths. Walking the hands back in, hanging onto the hamstrings, taking the arms almost straight, lean the upper body back, and maybe just barely pick your toes up off the floor. You can bring the shins parallel to the floor, or extend the legs straight if you like, toes higher than your eyeballs, making sure the lower belly is doing the work, not the back. You can hang on or let go in any one of those places. Just take yourself to a place that makes you just shake a little. Bringing the soles of the feet together, reach back for your ankles, draw the heels to the groin, balance here. And then tipping up again, bringing the feet to the floor. Keep hanging onto the ankles, use your elbows at your inner hips and gently hinge forward. Use the elbows to encourage the inner hips toward the floor. Keep your spine long. With the inhale, hinging back up again. And choose here if you'd like to make your way down to your back for Savasana, or come to a comfortable seat for a seated meditation. You can always take legs up the wall or whatever variation of this that you'd like, but make the body perfectly comfortable so the muscles can rest here and you can return the mind solely to the breath. Spending the next few minutes just simply observing the natural flow, keeping the mind quiet, and giving yourself just a few minutes to simply rest. Namaste.